Discovery and First Contact. The night sky above the New Mexico deserts sparkled with countless stars as Dr. Elena Morgan made the final adjustments to her experimental radio telescope. At 36, she had already earned a reputation as one of the most innovative astrophysicists in the field, though many of her colleagues considered her methods unconventional. The university had stopped funding her research last year, calling it speculative at best. But Elena had continued her work independently, converting an old observatory into her personal laboratory. "Come on, show me something interesting," she muttered, her fingers flying across the keyboard. The new frequency modulation algorithm she developed was designed to detect patterns that conventional SETI equipment might miss. For 3 months, she had scanned the same section of sky, convinced that something was there, something hiding just beyond the reach of standard detection methods. The computer emitted a soft ping. Elena's breath caught as she stared at the monitor. There, amid the cosmic noise, was a pattern, artificial, structured, and definitely not random. Not a natural phenomenon. Not human-made satellite chatter. Something else entirely. "Got you," she whispered, quickly saving the data. Her hands trembled slightly as she reached for her phone, scrolling to the contact labeled Jaden. Dr. Jaden Chen was half asleep when his phone buzzed. The cryptolinguist fumbled in the dark, squinting at the screen. Elena's name flashed, along with the time. 3:47 a.m. "Elena, it's the middle of the night," he groaned. "I found something," she said, her voice tight with excitement. "Something big. I need your expertise." Jaden sat up, instantly alert. "What kind of something?" "The kind that changes everything." "How fast can you get to the observatory?" 40 million miles away, aboard the massive monitoring station orbiting Mars. Senior observer Trolizik received an urgent alert. The Arcturian's luminescent skin pulsed with alarm as he read the message. For the first time in 247 Earth years, one of their observation platforms had been detected. Trolzik's four-fingered hand hesitated only briefly before activating the emergency communication channel to the Galactic Council. "Verification code?" asked the dispassionate voice on the other end. Trolizik, Senior Observer, Earth Division. "Code Crimson 7 Apex." A pause. "Report. One of our Earth observation networks has been compromised. A human female has detected signal patterns from Outpost 17. The silence that followed felt heavy with implications. Evidence level 3. She has recorded data but has not yet decoded its significance. Identity. Trolzik pulled up the file. Dr. Elena Morgan, astrophysicist. Previously with Princeton University, now conducting independent research. She has a history of developing detection technologies beyond current Earth standards. Implement Directive 772B immediately. The Council will convene. The communication ended. Trolzik remained motionless for several moments. Directive 772B meant increased surveillance and preparation for possible intervention. The careful balance maintained for centuries might soon collapse. 2 days later, Jaden hunched over Elena's computer, dark circles under his eyes suggesting he hadn't slept. At 40, with salt and pepper stubble and perpetually rumpled clothes, he looked like the stereotype of an academic who had forgotten the outside world existed. "Look at this," he said, pointing to a sequence of symbols scrolling across the screen. "These patterns repeat at intervals corresponding to Earth's rotation and orbit. Whatever this is, it's specifically monitoring our planet." Elena leaned closer. "Can you decode any of it?" "Not decode exactly, but I'm starting to understand the structure. This symbol group appears whenever they reference Earth's coordinates, and this sequence," he highlighted another pattern, "seems to be some kind of temporal marker. A timestamp. They've been watching us," Elena said quietly. "For how long?" Jaden pulled up historical data Elena had gathered. Based on the archived patterns, at least a century, maybe much longer. Neither of them noticed the small drone hovering outside the observatory window, Its advanced camera focused on their conversation, transmitting everything back to a location far beyond Earth. In the great chamber of the Galactic Council, orbiting the neutron star Epsilon Eridani, representatives from 24 of the most advanced civilizations in the known galaxy gathered for an emergency session. The chamber hummed with nervous energy as holographic displays showed Earth from various angles, with one screen zoomed in on Elena Morgan's small observatory. High Chancellor Vox stood at the center, his tall, ethereal form commanding attention. His species had evolved beyond physical bodies millennia ago, existing now as energy constructs contained in humanoid shells. For over 3 centuries, we have maintained Earth as a classified observation zone, Vox announced, his voice resonating through the chamber. Directive 772 has been our guiding principle, containment and study of anomalous species. Ambassador Curia of the Proxima Centauri Confederation shifted uncomfortably. Unlike most council members, her people appeared almost human, save for the subtle phosphorescent glow of her eyes. "Remind us again why we've kept humans in the dark for so long," she requested. Other species were welcomed into the galactic community after achieving much less. Vox activated a control panel, filling the screens with images of human history, wars, environmental destruction, but also incredible works of art, scientific breakthroughs, and acts of selfless compassion. "Humans are unpredictable," he stated simply. "All our predictive models fail when applied to them. They create magnificent art while designing weapons of mass destruction. They fight among themselves, yet unite instantly against outside threats. They are capable of both terrifying cruelty and remarkable kindness, often within the same individual." Ambassador Drex, a reptilian being from the Orion systems, hissed softly. "And they advance too quickly. Compare their technology from 300 years ago to now. No other species has ever developed at such a rapid pace." Vox nodded. "Which is why we implemented the subtle limitations. Our interventions have slowed their space travel capabilities and steered them away from discovering certain physical principles that would lead to faster-than-light travel." Curia stood. "I have argued for decades that our deception was ethically wrong. Perhaps this breach in our security is an opportunity for honest contact." Several representatives laughed coldly. "Your idealism is noted, Ambassador," Vox said. "But we must deal with reality. Humans have detected one of our observation platforms. Our intelligence suggests they are already analyzing the transmissions. It is only a matter of time before they understand more." "What do you propose?" asked Ambassador Zrel of the Centauri Alliance. "Contingency Protocol Omega-9, Vox replied. The chamber fell silent. Curia's face paled. "That is extreme," she said quietly. "Omega-9 includes memory alteration technology, sabotage, and in worst cases, targeted elimination of knowledge holders." "It is necessary," Vox insisted. "If humans discover the full extent of our observation and our interventions in their development, their reaction would be unpredictable, potentially violent. Or perhaps they would simply demand the truth and their rightful place among us," Curia countered. Vox ignored her. "We will send a diplomatic mission to assess how much they know. Captain Nera will lead it. If necessary, more direct measures will follow." Back on Earth, Elena and Jaden had made surprising progress. They hadn't slept in 36 hours, sustaining themselves on coffee and the excitement of discovery. "There's something else here," Jaden said, pointing to a recurring pattern in the transmissions. References to something called Directive 772 and Human Containment Protocols. Elena frowned. "Containment? That doesn't sound friendly." The phone rang, startling them both. Elena answered, putting it on speaker. "Dr. Morgan, this is Colonel Richard Stern, United States Space Defense Initiative." A deep voice announced formally. "We need to speak with you and Dr. Chen immediately regarding your recent astronomical findings." Elena and Jaden exchanged alarmed glances. "How did you know about our work?" Elena asked. "We've been monitoring similar anomalies. A team is en route to your location now." Please do not discuss your findings with anyone else." As Alina hung up, Jaden looked troubled. Government involvement already. That was fast. Too fast. Almost as if they knew what we'd find before we found it. Alina said, suddenly suspicious. Neither noticed the small blinking light on Alina's computer. An unauthorized connection, transmitting everything they said to somewhere far beyond Earth. In orbit around Earth, Captain Nera received her final orders from the Council. As commander of the diplomatic vessel Harmony, her mission was ostensibly peaceful, to make first contact with the humans who had detected their presence and assess how much they knew. Her unofficial directives were much less benign. 3 black SUVs pulled up to Alina's observatory as the sun was setting. 6 men and women in dark suits stepped out, led by a tall man with military bearing and watchful eyes. "Dr. Morgan, Dr. Chen, I'm Colonel Richard Stern," he said, showing them an ID card with a symbol neither scientist recognized. "What you've discovered is classified at the highest levels." "What exactly is your division?" Jaden asked. "I've never heard of the Space Defense Initiative." "Few have," Stern replied. "We monitor potential threats from beyond our atmosphere." Inside, Stern's team set up advanced monitoring equipment with practiced efficiency. A woman with sharp features introduced herself as Dr. Maya Harrison, the team's lead analyst. "Your detection method was brilliant," Maya told Alina. "We've been trying to crack their cloaking technology for years." "Years?" Alina repeated. "You've known about them." Colonel Stern nodded grimly. "Since 2018. We detected energy patterns we couldn't explain, but you've gone further than we ever did. You've captured their communications." Jaden showed them his progress on decoding the alien language. "These patterns suggest references to Earth, and something called the Containment Directive." Maya's fingers flew across her keyboard. "Match confirmed with our partial translations. You've filled in several gaps we couldn't solve." As the team worked, one of Stern's agents whispered something in his ear. The colonel frowned. "We have an unidentified object entering Earth's atmosphere. Trajectory suggests it's heading directly for us." Outside Earth's atmosphere, Captain Nera guided her ship carefully toward the blue planet. "Maintain stealth approach," she ordered her crew of 5. "Sensors detect their primitive tracking systems are not following us," Captain, her second-in-command, reported. "Our intelligence shows the humans with knowledge of our presence are gathered at a single location." "Convenient," Nera replied. "Prepare the memory modification equipment. We'll present ourselves as cultural ambassadors from the Galactic Council while we determine the extent of their knowledge." But as they descended toward Earth, alarms blared across their control panels. "We're being scanned," the navigator shouted. "Advanced frequency patterns similar to our own technology." "Impossible," Nera thought. "Humans shouldn't have such capability." In the observatory, Maya pointed to her screen. "We've got them." Dropping out of stealth at 80,000 feet and descending, Colonel Stern immediately began issuing orders. "Full defensive protocols. Inform Joint Chiefs we have first contact scenario Alpha Dawn." Alina stared at them. "You were expecting this?" "Hoping and dreading," Stern replied. "We've been preparing for decades." Within 30 minutes, the alien ship landed in a clearing 2 miles from the observatory. Stern's team had established a perimeter, and military helicopters could be heard approaching in the distance. "Stay behind us," Stern told Alina and Jaden. "We don't know their intentions." The ship's hull slid open. 5 humanoid beings emerged, dressed in sleek uniforms. Their skin ranged from pale blue to gray, and their large eyes scanned the humans cautiously. One stepped forward. "I am Captain Nera of the Galactic Council. We come in peace, seeking cultural exchange with your world." Stern stepped forward. "Colonel Richard Stern, Earth Defense. Welcome to Earth." His tone was polite but guarded. Nera smiled, but Alina noticed it didn't reach her eyes. "We were passing through your system and detected unusual communications. We thought it time to introduce ourselves properly." As the aliens approached, Alina felt a chill run down her spine. There was something in Captain Nera's eyes, something calculating, something hiding the deeper purpose. First contact had been made, but Elena suspected the real truth about humanity's place in the galaxy was yet to be revealed. Revelations and humanity's stand. The Galactic Council delegation sat across from the humans in a hastily arranged conference room at the observatory. The tension in the air was palpable. Captain Nera's 4 companions, introduced as cultural, scientific, and diplomatic officers, watched the humans with unnervingly steady gazes. "We've observed your civilization from afar for some time," Nera explained, her voice melodious, but with an artificial quality, like it had been specifically engineered to sound pleasant to human ears. "Your rapid technological advancement caught our attention. The Council oversees peaceful integration of emerging species into the galactic community." Elena noticed how Nera carefully avoided mentioning exactly how long they'd been watching or what observation entailed. Colonel Stern seemed to pick up on the same omission. "And the containment directive?" Stern asked bluntly. "What can you tell us about that?" A flicker of surprise crossed Nera's features before her practiced diplomatic expression returned. "I'm not familiar with that terminology. Perhaps a mistranslation in your decoding efforts." Jaden exchanged a glance with Elena. They both recognized the lie. "Perhaps we could demonstrate our good faith," offered Kell, the science officer. His elongated fingers gestured to a metallic case one of the other aliens was carrying. "We bring gifts of knowledge, medical advances, clean energy solutions." "Very generous," Elena said carefully. "But I'm more interested in understanding why a peaceful contact mission would carry memory modification equipment." The temperature in the room seemed to drop several degrees. Nera's expression hardened. "I don't understand what you mean, Dr. Morgan. When your ship was approaching, we detected energy signatures consistent with neural manipulation technology." Maya Harrison interjected, tapping her tablet. "Care to explain that?" Outside the conference room, both human and alien security forces maintained a tense standoff. Inside, the diplomatic facade was crumbling. Nera stood abruptly. "This meeting is clearly premature. We should reconvene after both sides have had time to prepare proper diplomatic protocols." "Or," Stern countered, "you could stop the deception and tell us exactly what the Galactic Council has been doing to Earth." At the Council headquarters, the emergency session continued. Live transmissions from Nera's mission displayed on the massive screens. High Chancellor Vox's energy form pulsed with agitation. "The humans know more than we anticipated," he announced. "They've detected the neural modification equipment and have partial translations of our directives." Ambassador Kyria shook her head. This approach was doomed from the start. Deception upon deception. "What is the status of Omega-9 preparations?" asked Ambassador Drex. A technical officer responded. "The global memory restructuring field can be deployed within 12 Earth hours. It will erase all knowledge of our existence from human consciousness and digital records." "The side effects?" Kyria demanded. "Minimal for most subjects. Approximately 17% of humans may experience neurological damage. Perhaps 3% fatalities. 240 million deaths," Kyria translated, her voice hard. "And you call these minimal side effects?" Vox turned to face her. "The alternative is to reveal the truth, that we've been manipulating human development for centuries, subtly altering their technological progress, steering them away from certain discoveries, all because we fear what they might become." "Maybe it's time for the truth," Kyria insisted. Back at the observatory, the standoff continued. Elena and Jaden had retreated to her lab, reviewing the alien transmissions while Stern's team kept the aliens occupied with bureaucratic discussions. "Look at this," Jaden said, pointing to a newly decoded section. References to technological suppression dating back to the 1950s. The Roswell incident wasn't a crash. It was a deliberate plant of misinformation. Elena scanned the data. "They've been steering us away from certain scientific discoveries, manipulating our progress." Her fingers flew across the keyboard. "There's something else here. Projections of human development without their interference. we would have achieved interstellar travel decades ago. The door opened, and Maya slipped in. The aliens are stalling. Their ship is transmitting heavy data streams to somewhere beyond Mars' orbit. They're calling for backup, Elena realized. Colonel Stern joined them moments later. Our satellites have detected multiple objects accelerating from the outer solar system toward Earth. Estimated arrival: 10 hours. What's the plan? Jaden asked. Stern's expression was grim. The President has authorized First Contact Protocol Defender. We reveal what we know and demand the truth. When they returned to the conference room, the mood had changed. Captain Nera sat rigidly, her diplomacy replaced by cold calculation. Your reinforcements won't arrive in time, Stern informed her. And we've already transmitted everything we know to secure locations worldwide. There's no containing this anymore. Nera's eyes narrowed. You have no idea what you're dealing with. The Council has technologies you cannot comprehend, like your memory modification devices. Elena stepped forward, placing a tablet on the table. We've analyzed your transmission frequencies. Interesting technology, but it has a fundamental flaw in the quantum entanglement matrix. For the first time, genuine surprise showed on Nera's face. Elena continued, human brains are more neurologically diverse than your models account for. Your one-size-fits-all approach to memory alteration wouldn't work on at least 30% of our population. Kell, the science officer, leaned forward with newfound interest. How did you determine that? Because we're unpredictable, Jaden answered. Isn't that why you've been containing us? You can't model our behavior or our development with any accuracy. Nera stood, abandoning all pretense. The Council has maintained peace in this galaxy for 50,000 years. Species develop according to established patterns. Except humans, you create and destroy with equal passion. You wage war among yourselves, yet show remarkable compassion to your enemies. Your technological growth is exponential, not linear like all other known species. You're afraid of us, Elena realized. With good reason, Nera replied. Our projections show that without containment, humans would dominate the galaxy within 5 centuries. Your adaptability, creativity, and aggression are a volatile combination. A transmission alert sounded from Nera's communication device. The alien captain activated it, and a holographic image of Chancellor Vox materialized. Captain Nera, the Council has voted. Omega 9 has been authorized. Withdraw your team immediately. Elena exchanged alarmed glances with Stern and Jaden. What's Omega 9? She demanded. Nera looked at them with something almost like regret. A global memory restructuring field. It will eliminate all knowledge of our existence from human consciousness and kill hundreds of millions in the process. Kyria's voice cut in as another hologram appeared beside Vox's. Chancellor, I formally dissent from this decision and invoke the Minority Protection Clause of the Council Charter. Vox's energy form pulsed angrily. This is not the forum for. The humans deserve to know the truth before you attempt to rewrite their minds. Kyria interrupted. For centuries, we've justified our containment of Earth as protection, both of humans from the galaxy and the galaxy from humans. But in truth, we've feared your potential. While most species reach a development plateau, humans continuously innovate. Your minds work differently. You see possibilities where others see only what is. Colonel Stern stepped forward. If this memory field is deployed, we will consider it an act of war. And despite your advanced technology, you should know that humans excel at asymmetrical warfare. Elena moved to a computer terminal. We've been analyzing your transmission frequencies since you arrived. Your memory technology depends on a specific subspace harmonic to function. Jaden continued, and we've already designed a countermeasure. He typed a command, and a signal began broadcasting from the observatory's radio telescope. On Nera's communication device, alarms sounded. Kell checked his instruments, his expression shocked. They're generating a dampening field that disrupts our neural manipulation technology. It shouldn't be possible. Like I said, Elena smiled grimly. Unpredictable. In the council chamber, technicians reported the failure of the Omega-9 deployment. The humans have developed a countermeasure, one announced, disbelief evident in his voice. They reversed engineered the principles from our own transmissions in a matter of hours. Vox turned to Kyria. This is precisely why they are dangerous, or precisely why they deserve their place among us, she countered. They accomplished in hours what took our best scientists decades to develop. Back on Earth, the standoff had reached its critical moment. Nera's communication device displayed the council chamber, where heated debate continued. The vote is 19-5, Vox announced. The containment protocol will continue. Alternative measures will be. Actually, interrupted a new voice. That won't be possible. All eyes turned to Jaden, who had connected his computer to display Earth's solar system. Scattered throughout the diagram were blinking red dots. While you were debating, we identified the locations of all 27 of your observation platforms. Our governments have deployed nuclear-armed missiles to each location. Nera looked stunned. That's impossible. You can't have found them all. We didn't need to, Elena explained. Once we understood the frequency pattern of one, we could identify them all. Your stealth technology is impressive, but it has a consistent energy signature. Colonel Stern added, those platforms are now hostages. Any aggressive action against Earth will result in their destruction. I imagine they contain significant intelligence value and advanced technology you wouldn't want lost. In the council chamber, silence fell. Vox's energy form dimmed slightly as he processed this development. Kyria stepped forward. Chancellor, I propose an alternative. The humans have proven their ingenuity. They've demonstrated exactly the qualities that make them valuable potential allies. Instead of containing them, let us welcome them, cautiously, but honestly. The risks, Vox began, are less than the benefits, Kyria insisted, and less than the consequences of continuing this failed containment. They know we exist now. They've demonstrated they can counter our technology when motivated. Suppression is no longer viable. For several long moments, Vox remained silent, his energy form shifting through various colors as he considered the options. Finally, he spoke. Captain Nera, your new orders are to initiate true diplomatic contact. No deceptions. The Council will convene to prepare for formal relations with Earth. Nera nodded, looking relieved. She turned to the humans. It seems we will be having honest conversations after all. 3 days later, Elena stood outside the observatory, gazing at the stars. The alien ship remained in the clearing, now surrounded by a joint scientific and diplomatic mission from Earth. The initial shock of first contact had given way to the complex work of establishing relations with the galactic community. Jaden joined her, holding 2 cups of coffee. The council representatives arrive tomorrow. Kyria will lead their delegation. Elena accepted the coffee gratefully. Do you think they'll ever truly accept us? Or will they always see us as the unpredictable threat? I think that's up to us, Jaden replied. We proved we could match their technology when threatened. Now we need to show them what humanity can create when inspired. Inside the observatory, scientists and diplomats from a dozen nations worked alongside Nera's crew, beginning the knowledge exchange. The air buzzed with excitement and possibility. The funny thing is, Elena said, after centuries of trying to contain us, they created exactly the situation they feared. Humans motivated to rapidly develop advanced technology. Jaden laughed. Ironic, isn't it? Their deceptions fell apart because they couldn't predict how quickly we'd learn and adapt. Elena raised her coffee cup in a toast. To humanity's unpredictability. And to a galaxy that's about to become much more interesting, Jaden added. As they clinked cups, a shooting star blazed across the sky. Not a natural phenomenon, but a council ship entering Earth's atmosphere, bringing with it the dawn of a new era for humanity among the stars.